Hey y'all, it's your girl Sarah
and Corra,
and we are a truly
wonderful pair.
Grab some wine and get comfy
as we journey through Wisteria Lane and all its insanity.
We will be watching Desperate Housewives for the first time through a modern day lens, and as a housewife fan myself, I feel like it's my duty to watch this series based on reality gold. Today we'll be watching episode 1, the pilot, and during the commercial breaks we'll come back to give our honest reactions. Okay, so we're back after our first commercial break. Holy crap. I didn't think that lady was going to kill herself. Honestly, I've seen the clip in the beginning where she kills herself and she has the whole spiel and it's like, oh, it's a nice, lovely day in this white suburban area. But I had no idea that she was going to kill herself. And it seems like she was the glue to this group. So it seems like also they're about to come undone and discover more beneath the surface.
Yeah, I just wanted to chime in and add that all of these characters have like kind of imperfect lives so far, and the one I feel bad for the most is probably Lynette, but that's just because her husband seems to be a little bit of like kind of absentee. He's not really there. He's kind of like doing a lot of business stuff, but like her friend just died and you'd think like maybe I should be home to help my wife because her friend just died.
Right. Didn't the other wives' husbands actually attend the funeral with them? I understand business is business, but like my best friend just died. You should be at this funeral with me, especially she got 3 kids.
Right. Like that was not right at all, that he just kind of like not abandoned her, but like.
No, it's abandoned because if you have 3 kids like that, first of all, they look like triplets. But the way that they explained it was she gave birth 3 times. So it's the twins, the younger brother, and then the newborn that she has. She has all them kids and he's not there to help her on a day of her funeral. My best friend just died. I could be in distraught. I'm just saying. So she's got a lot on her hands. Then we have I forgot Eva Longoria's character. What's her name?
Gabrielle. I was taking notes.
So something like that. So she's a model. Her husband's a stockbroker or some type of broker dude who makes a lot of money, and he flaunts the wealth around. Clearly, she's a trophy wife.
Yeah. So far, we've just gotten into the fact that their romance is kind of like dwindling. Like it's kind of like a flame going out. It's not really working out, it seems like.
Honestly, she's supposed to be the top model from New York, and if they're not having sex, he's definitely getting somewhere else. So I'm sure he's cheating.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, because there's no way that has freaking Eva Longoria as his wife, and this is another example directly of a dude literally going away for business half the time and not being present. But this time he's actually there for her friend's funeral. He's trying at least to be appropriate. But it seems like there's just a genuine divide that they don't understand how to close the gap between.
I would say the gap would be between her profession and his profession. So since she's not like this big brain girl, she's just like some dumb model, especially it's like the early 2000s. So all models are thin, skinny models who don't know anything. So she she has this leg up of like thinking people are, or have people think that she's not as smart as she thinks she is. So she has that leverage. So we'll see how she'll work that in her favor. What's the other characters? Miss Bree Vanderkamp. She is a force to be working with, okay? It seems like her family is tired of her, but she's this quintessential perfect housewife that knows how to do every skill and still keep up appearances. But clearly her entire family is sick of her.
I'm going to say something a little controversial because I learned something about Mark Cherry, and I learned that he's like a conservative.
Who's Mark Cherry?
Or Mark Cherry.
Mark Cherry.
Who was like the producer, I think the creator, like producer of the show.
Okay.
And so I'm like, maybe he made her to kind of be like his favorite character.
Her being part of the NRA is definitely a clear sign of her being conservative, because as far as I know, the NRA does not have a liberal branch. So as soon as she said NRA, I was like, okay, you're clearly a Republican. And even though I'm probably going to fundamentally disagree on everything with her, I know she's going to be fun to watch because she seems crazy. She seems very type A crazy. And those characters are definitely interesting to watch.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna get some really good moments out of her because she seems normal, but like in a very like ADHD kind of autistic way. She can like go way off the rails, like just do the most insane stuff and then just look at you with the most normal face.
So we have our 4 main characters, which is, I know you probably just said it. Oh, you didn't even say The single. Oh no, we didn't go to the single mom.
We didn't go to Susan.
Susan, we forgot Susan. She's
Susan,
a train wreck.
We love Susan because she's in the same boat as Lynette, but you know, I'm really trying not to be mean here because she's she seems like kind of like the main character, but I think by virtue of the fact that she was last, she was a little bit more forgettable.
Oof. If she's supposed to be the forgettable one, that makes sense. Just because she's the only one that's not married, minus the main character Mary, who killed herself, so made her husband a widow. But when they were all alive, she was the only one that was going through such a tumultuous relationship with her husband cheating on her with the secretary, which is so typical. But with all that happening and still having a daughter and doing it all on her own, she clearly is losing herself. At the funeral, she does meet up with a handsome plumber who tries her mac and cheese. Now, Thanksgiving just happened, and seeing her fuck up this mac and cheese is disheartening to me because I am the queen of mac and cheese. So for her to fuck up something simple like the dude said as mac and cheese, lady, you literally could have just made some crap to call it a day.
Yeah, like that's it too. Or she could have like put some craft seasoning on her thing if she wanted to make it. Or it's just a fundamental fact that she undercooked it. The dude said it was like undercooked and then it was overcooked. It was burnt on the top, but it felt way too undercooked. Like, how was that possible?
This lady just put noodles, milk, and eggs with some butter in an oven and then just hit bake and didn't even put no foil over it, because how is you burnt and undercooked?
It's also not the first time she does it.
Yeah, because apparently she gets that a lot. So that's great. This white lady over here just undercooking, overcooking mac and cheese, while Ms. Vanderkamp over here has like breakfast for them and desserts for the deck guests and all this special instructions, but she still needs the baskets back.
How you managed to mess up mac and cheese is beyond me.
It's beyond me. All right, well, let's get back to the show. And we're back, and we finally get to meet Edie Britt, who is the town slut, and she has made it her duty to make sure that she has introduced herself to the new plumber in town and that her pipes need cleaning. So, what's her face? Susan's younger daughter obviously took the opportunity to kick her soccer ball across his yard just so he can get information on him so that she can encourage her mother to go flirt with a plumber. I think that her daughter is a little too involved in her sex life to be asking questions like that.
I think that that's weird, but I also think that it makes sense because I think that it feels like she had her younger, right?
Well, yeah, it seems like she was a younger mom and had her at a younger age, because you could tell that when the husband was cheating on her with the secretary, that she confided in her daughter a little bit, or at least the daughter was trying to comfort her, because obviously there was nights where they were crying. The montage of her making the mac and cheese, they were obviously fighting from the daughter, so the daughter is aware of what's going on, and I'm sure this divorce had brought them closer. Sometimes, depending if it's a young mom and they have a younger daughter, there's a lot more friendship relationship versus mother and daughter relationship in that sense. So it could be a hindrance, because you shouldn't be that young in my mother's sex life. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I also think that the daughter may like need more friends, because why are you asking your mom about this? Like, you should be doing like teenage stuff, I feel like. That's
what my thing is too. Where are your friends?
Yeah, where are her friends? It feels a little like convenient, a little bit for the sake of the show. That's like, so far we haven't seen her friends, I suppose. Mm-hmm. But that's just, it's a TV show. Don't think too much into it, I guess.
Moving along. So I was wrong about Mr. Solanas or Solus. He's not the one cheating. It's his wife.
Yeah, she's like literally having like this love affair with like the gardener, and
it's funny that his name is John in this show, because I know him from John Tucker Must Die.
Yeah, he's John from John Tucker Must Die. So seeing his face, you could either
call him John makes sense at this point.
You could either assume that like he's some random white guy who looks a little like him, or
I don't think the universes will cross, just because that one was back in like what, 2006, and this thing was like 2005. Oh shit.
Yeah, like literally, like they're right next to each other. Like the production value looks exactly the same.
I guess maybe his agent was like, "Hey, play two Johns at the same time, and then you get money off of it." I don't know.
It's the same thing like the guy who plays what is it, P in The Office. They name him Plop, right?
Yeah.
And then in that show that got canceled on like FX or whatever, right? His nickname is Clop. on that show.
What show was he on FX?
It was that one based on the movie with Jack Black. I forget what it's called again, right?
High
Fidelity.
High Fidelity.
The guy who plays Pete from The Office.
He was in High Fidelity?
Yeah, he was.
That's the one with Zoe Kravitz?
Yeah, he was playing Zoe Kravitz, like playing opposite her love interest or something. So
interesting. I forgot he was in this show, but you said his name was what?
His nickname was Clop.
Clop.
And his name in The Office was Plop.
See, I think that's funny when actors get roles, and most of the time they'll change like what is it called? They'll change the script based on the actor and previous roles. So I guess they would do that because that's probably one of his most famous roles. I see him in everything now.
Yeah, like him just being in random stuff. Wasn't he in the Apples Never? Was he in Apples Never Fall?
Yes, he was. That's the one on Peacock. That's also a good one.
Because his hair changed up when he was in that, and I was like, he looks similar, but he looks like so much older.
He does look older. But back to the show, because we don't veered off on a whole tangent. So John Tucker Must Die is cheating with Miss Solanas on a expensive table, actually, because she was like $23,000 table. Like, bitch, does it matter? She's obviously copying her husband.
It's like, as much as he flaunts his wealth, she kind of flaunts her body, because this is like the gardener, like, out of all people, like I don't know, it just feels like she's a prisoner in her house a little, just because, like, does she go to the store? We don't know yet, but like, if this is the gardener, I'm like, it feels like she doesn't have much. Maybe she has like that position of stay-at-home mom without like any children, you know?
Exactly. She has so it would be stay-at-home wife. A
stay-at-home wife.
She's supposed to be doing the cooking and cleaning. Honestly, she doesn't look like someone that be cooking nor cleaning.
No.
So clearly she does nothing with her day. I don't know why she's now off jet setting and being a model. Lady, what's her first name? Elizabeth? It's not Elizabeth. It's something. I would call him Solanas or Solalis. I can't. What is
her name?
Yes, Ula Longoria's name in the damn show.
Gabrielle.
I don't know why I can't. Gabby. I don't know. But Miss Gabrielle Solanas is what I'm calling her. And it's
I like saying I like saying Gabriella just because of like.
But it's not Gabrielle. It's Gabrielle.
I know. It's just like it rolls off the tongue for me to say Gabriella more than it says Gabrielle, because it feels like I'm stopping short.
For that one. Yeah, that'll be their fault. But anyway, and then we get more in depth with Bree Vanderkamp and their family dynamic.
Right.
Clearly, the cracks were breaking in that whole family. Her kids not appreciating her hard work, even though realistically, no one's telling her to do all this shit. Yes, you're trying to be the perfect wife, be the perfect mom, but you need to listen to your family and figure out what that means for them. Because your son is like, I want to be normal. I don't want all this osabuco shit. I just want beans in a can. And I'm like, oh, Lord. Clearly, you should just be thankful, because she wanted to go through this whole trouble of cooking for 3 fucking hours. And then you could tell the relationship is not well. If your husband is not, connecting with you in parenting, if he's not supporting you in the parenting, then you need to go find you another husband.
I feel like that's another example of like the guys kind of being a little bit like, I don't want to say this, but like assholes. She's just cooking, and yeah, like, you're not great with your wife, but like, at least attempt to put up a like united front. Like, he's barely even trying. Like, it feels like he's not only kind of failing her, like their failing marriage is kind of seeping into the way that he parents.
Yes, and one thing I've learned from all these relationship shows is if you want to have a good marriage, make sure you put united front. The two of you together are a united front in public, but when you guys are behind closed doors, then you discuss your issues. And if you're not united front, even in front of your children, then what kind of marriage do you have? Yeah,
like that's really falling apart at the seams, because like the whole structure must have been damaged. Like, you got to really question like how did they meet really? Like, how did they care for each other when they were like really close?
Yeah, that's true. All right, let's get back to the show. So we're back, and we see Lynette at the grocery store with her kids being rambunctious, and she runs into an old coworker from the firm. I'm assuming she used to be a lawyer. They haven't said what the firm is about yet, because it's different type of firms. But her kids are running rambunctious in the store, and then the lady asks her, what is it like being a mother? And you could tell her honest reaction is she hates it and she wants to be back in the office, because it's not easy being a stay-at-home mom and working. I feel like her taking her husband's advice of immediately just giving up work instead of figuring out a balance between work and life, because she clearly missed being, or at least missed going to work instead of dealing with these brats all day.
Yeah, it feels like I just question sometimes, like, could she have stopped at a certain point in time? Because this is a lot for her. Like, these kids crash a cart into an old woman and they steal a cart. Like, as she's talking to her coworker, it's so funny because it's like, not that she should have stopped, but it's like, it's a lot to handle for her. It's like, it's a lot of kids to handle for one person. And it definitely feels like her husband isn't there. We haven't even seen her husband like, we've seen all their other husbands, but we haven't seen him.
Right, he's the only husband we haven't seen so far. So at this point, she basically acts as a single parent, and he's just the one bringing in the money. But you could tell she misses being at the firm, or at least working again. So we'll see how that works out. The next scene is we see John and Gabrielle rolling in the hay.
Yeah.
And then we find out that he's not even young enough to smoke. Now, as far as I knew, in the early 2000s, the smoking age was at 18. So you're telling me this child, she's fucking a child?
Yeah, that's
Are you
disgusting.
telling me she's having sex with a child?
That's gross.
Like, what is happening here? He's under 18 and you're currently having sex with him.
I can't really feel sympathy. I feel like this is gonna be I feel like if we continue, this is gonna be like a hard sell for our character.
This is almost as if like a middle school teacher having sex with the student. Like, this is basically what this is. And her knowing the age of, like, she didn't even wait till he was 18. Like, they're actively in a bed naked and he's underage.
I mean, she could still date a high schooler. He would just have to be 18. And also, she couldn't have just, I don't know, waited.
She's a grown woman that's married. She should not be dating nobody. I mean, if she is going to have an affair, why that child? That's what I'm not understanding.
She's, like, confined to her. It feels like, I don't want to really compare this, but, like, Persephone and Hades.
Was Persephone supposed to be, like, a significantly younger age?
I'm not sure. But from what I understand, in some iterations, like especially in the Percy Jackson movie, not the book, but she's trapped in hell, and like she welcomes anyone that passes through, like like I think Hades' palace or whatever. And sometimes there's this mythology where sometimes she goes up to the world, but like the passing through part, I feel like that feels very Persephone like. And that's at least the interesting part to me. Not the fact that he's like not even old enough to smoke. Like that's a hard sell for me. Even
so
though
you say she'd let anything pass through with a good looking face, no matter what age.
Right.
That's horrible. But like you said, this is going to be an interesting watch to see someone continuously having an affair with an underage child. But as we progress to the show, the next scene is Susan and her daughter at home. Her daughter is doing some type of Trojan horse sculpture out of popsicle sticks, and is trying to convince her mom to basically like flirt with Mike Delfino, which is the plumber's name. Sounds like my old school teacher, Mr. Stefano, which is so funny. But she convinces her daughter to go across the street to flirt with Mr. Mike, but then all good old Edie Britt already made her way and weaseled her way into her house trying to mark her territory as a so. That was quick. But for some reason she made up her pipes being broken just so that the plumber can come over her house and fix her pipes.
Yeah.
And then
ropes her daughter into this, by the way.
Ropes her daughter into it too.
I was feeling sympathetic, but now I'm just like, are you a good mom?
Right, because the daughter even mentioned earlier how she used her to get full custody so she could use her against her father. So when the plumber comes over after they stuffed the pipes so he could fix something, she then blames it. Oh, my daughter plays too much in the kitchen. I have to make sure she doesn't. Like, how you gonna use your daughter again? Well, that went in her favor, I guess, because she's away from Edie Britt. Or he's away from Edie Britt, so that's good. The next scene is the Vanderkamps out at I would say an Applebee's type restaurant.
Maybe like an Outback.
Yeah, like a 2000s Outback restaurant.
If they said like fried onion or like bloomin', like
if they would have said a bloomin' onion, even though he's allergic to onions, I don't. Yeah, they would have said something like a bloomin' onion or something with an Outback reference,
or like fried something ridiculous, like
something ridiculous. But they're at a restaurant, they sit down, and clearly still they're not even on the same page as parenting in public. One of the kids asks to go play at the arcade. Dad says yes, and of course mom says no, but they go anyway so that mom and dad can have alone time. And this is when Bree's husband slams that he wants a divorce. Now we can kind of see this coming just based on the dynamic of their relationship. And while she's reeling in this information, she goes to the salad bar to get him a salad. On the way, she runs into Mrs. Huber. Now, we didn't mention her earlier, but Mrs. Huber is the quintessential nosy neighbor. She was the one that found Mary when she killed herself just to bring over a blender she has been stuffed in her cabinet for a month. And then she waited after a moment of solace and grief, took the name off of her blender just to keep it. That lady is evil. Yeah. No matter how niceness you would put it, no matter how much niceness she would front, that lady is evil.
That's why you have to kind of at this point you gotta carve your name into the appliance just to make sure people know that's yours, because ain't nothing.
Obviously, it's again early 2000s quintessential like neighborhood. Everybody knows each other. Go across the street to borrow some sugar.
Like white suburban.
I will not have anybody come to my house to borrow a piece of near appliance, because you will not see that thing ever again.
I gave one of the kids in my neighborhood when we were young my video game. He did not return that back properly for like months on end. I do not trust people to borrow anything anymore.
Exactly. I don't trust people borrowing nothing anymore. If you need something, I can give you a link to a good sale so you could buy on your own. But you ain't borrowing mine, because you're not breaking mine.
You're not taking it either. If I'm giving it to you, I'm giving it to you, and you take it, because I know I'm not getting that back anytime soon.
Nope, no time soon. And so while Bree is having her encounter with the nosy neighbor, she's still reeling in the news of her husband wanting a divorce. She intentionally puts onions in his salad, and he goes into anaphylactic shock. Now, the transition or the cut from the husband basically falling out until Mary's son waking up in the middle of the night was hilarious, because I was trying to figure out did he actually survive, because she didn't run and give him no EpiPen. She kind of just let him fall out like that. So that's what I'm saying. Her putting the onions was unintentional, but definitely intentional, because she wanted to hurt him. She wanted to make sure that he was in pain. And then we cut to Mary and her son.
Also, I feel like that was kind of entirely avoidable, because he was being, let's be realistic, he was being a little bit of a dick. He could get his own salad. You're a grown-ass man. If he did that to himself, he would still find a way to blame her.
He would still find a way to blame her anyway. But once we cut to the scene of Mary's son waking up in the middle of the night, he hears his father using an axe pick to dig he drained their pool and started digging to find God knows what, but we will have to continue watching these last 13 minutes to figure out.
And it was like a really hard cut. Like, that transition was not smooth at all. It's hard cut from Rex like passing out straight into like these last couple of minutes have been so hectic. Like, in comparison to the rest of the episode, it was like bam, 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 bam.
Episode. This, like, the first 5 minutes started with someone in a very utopian place killing themselves. So from that moment on, we should have already knew that this was gonna be some bullshit.
Right.
All right, let's get back to the show. Next scene is Lynette's husband. We finally get to meet Lynette's husband. What is it? His name is Tom?
Tom, yeah.
We finally get to meet Tom.
After like a week.
This is a week after the funeral. We finally get to meet Tom. He's home from business. He greets the kids, loves them. He's like, hey, go play football. While he tries to get busy with mom upstairs. And when she was like, hey, I just had a baby, you need to put a condom on, he's talking about something. No, let's risk it. Hold on. That was a full threat. Yeah. How are you going to threat a child on me like that after I just had one and the 3 other ones is giving me a headache, sir?
He literally comes home and like not even takes a nap, but immediately gives his 3 sons like a bunch of presents. and then immediately tries to like sleep with his wife while she's off the pill because of like medical concern, and he's like trying to like
Well, she just had the baby.
She just had a baby, and he's trying to like have sex with her without a condom. He's like, who needs a condom? And I'm like, oh yeah, buddy boy, no.
Yeah, that's
like,
a few things. So he deserved that punch. She punched him so hard, I thought she knocked him out, but
she
he
decked
deserved
him in
that
the
punch.
face, which now would be considered intimate partner violence, so that's definitely a bad thing.
Well, I mean, if he consented and he enjoys it, who am I to judge? But the next scene, we see Bree and her husband in the hospital after his allergic reaction, and he finally opens up to her about why he wants to get a divorce. He feels like she has become this Stepford wife and too perfect and basically not a real human being, or not the woman that he fell in love with years before. Clearly, she has a problem with opening up in front of her husband, which is the one person you should be opening up in front of. She goes into the bathroom to cry for 5 minutes, and it comes out this perfect person. So it's clear that she's avoiding some type of feeling she doesn't want to address. So she makes her whole life perfect, and then doesn't want to address anything.
Yeah, I mean, he's valid in saying those things, but I feel like could we get a flashback to see like what were they like? Because he said he is trying to like tell us like, hey, this is not the person I fell in love with. It's like, I wonder if we're gonna get a flashback maybe in the next couple episodes, like, oh, what were they like before, like the children and stuff.
Yes, I'm interested on a flashback of what Bree was like before, just because I would like to know, obviously, the dynamic of what it was like before the kids and even when they first had their kid. Because I feel like when you have the first kid, it's still the same dynamic. It's a little different when you have the first kid, but after the second kid, it's either been some years. The dynamic has obviously changed, and once the second child comes, it changed the dynamic even more. So yeah, it'd be nice to see what their relationship was like before. And then we end with Gabrielle and her husband going to their event. Now, obviously, she's having an affair with the gardener, and because they're too busy having sex, the gardening is not getting done. So in order for the husband to not catch on, she leaves him at the event to go mow the lawn in the middle of the night in pitch black. Now, conveniently, the street, or at least her yard, is somewhat lit. But that's a lot to do in a long silvery dress at night to mow a lawn. And
she bribes the waiter to like endlessly hand him alcohol, probably so that he doesn't even remember that the grass wasn't mowed properly.
Yeah, definitely. Because the way he was analyzing the grass at night is quite insane.
He literally dropped down on his knees, face in front of like every little grass hair, felt it with like...
like, that's kind of insane. As we trudge along to the last few minutes... And the final scene being, the final thing that happens is Susan is at the grocery store and sees Mrs. Huber, the nosy neighbor, and she's reveling in this information about Edie having a date tonight because she has to look after her son.
Practically insulting Susan.
Basically, this lady, like I said, revels in any little tidbit gossip she gets around the neighborhood. So even though she's like, oh, I had to look after her son, she's sitting there beaming with glee that, oh, I know that she's having a man over and is going to have sex. Like, girl, mind your business and get your own life, please. So after Susan finds this out, she tries to go home, comes up with some plan to figure out how she can intervene her way in between Mike and Edie. So she goes over to her house. The lady doesn't answer the front door, so she goes in her backyard to go through her back door to see, I guess, the scene that has been set with all the candles, the romance, the wine, the clothes being ripped off. And she sits there all sad thinking, my chances are over. She throws a pair of panties that she saw laying around.
Yeah.
And then not blows up, but basically sets her house on fire while she's inside with another man. So while she's inside with another man, she basically burned Edie's house down. She runs away before the whole house burns down. The ambulance comes, fire department does come. Everybody obviously is walking around. It's like, oh my God, what's going on? What's going on? And that's when she finds out that it was not Mike. It was some other dude that had to go to the hospital for smoke inhalation or something like that. And we find out that Mike has some some dealings going on, because not only does he have a gun, he's on the phone talking to someone like, no, we haven't done anything yet.
And then when Susan sees that Mike's alive, the funniest thing that she does is, after feeling bad that like she might have injured someone, she sees that Mike's alive, and then she stares back at the house and starts smiling.
Yes, after she finds out it's not Mike, she's actually happy that she burned the house down. So it's after, if Mike was inside, she would still have remorse. But after she finds it out, there is no remorse, and that's kind of fucked up, because it means you just burned some innocent lady's house down because you wanted to fuck some dude first. And then after that huge scene, the next day, the ladies go over to Mary Alice's house to clean out her closet, help with her family in this time of grief. And then they find a very mysterious letter in her belongings that say, I know what you did. It makes me sick. I'm going to tell. And this was mailed out to her the day she died. So she got this letter in the mail.
It was the thing we see at the beginning of the episode.
Yes, it was when she opens her mail, sees this letter, and then gets the gun in the closet
and takes her own life.
And now we have started the investigation on why the hell did Mary kill herself. This episode was crazy. This show seems like it's a lot, because this was only one episode and we've already gotten a whole heap of, I would say, 3 episodes worth of drama.
Yeah, like at the 22-minute mark, if I remember correctly, like so much stuff starts happening, and the cut and the editing and the pacing is like really, like, it's chopped up, like scenes are like meshed together. I'm like, who edited this? Part of me is like, and then I'm just like, oh, this was like what had to pass for primetime TV back then, because
yes, I think a lot of it is filler. I don't know why I thought this show was only 30 minutes, but it's actually 40 minutes. So with all the commercials, it's about an hour long. So yeah, when it comes to primetime, especially in the early 2000s, they had to do a lot to fill in that time. Nowadays, I feel like people are trying to cut down way too much on how much content is being pushed out there or how long the show will be, because we are now, instead of getting 20 episodes a season, we're getting like 10 episode seasons for maybe 30 minutes, which is ridiculous.
Blame Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, yes, we blame Stranger Things, because we are not about to sit here for 2 months on 6 episodes. It's ridiculous. Like, just release all of them at once. It's only 6 episodes for one season. I don't understand why we're dragging out 3 episodes long. Like, that makes no sense.
It's 8 actually, which doesn't make it better.
It doesn't make it better, because each episode is like its own movie at this point. So we blame Stranger Things for the way television has been produced nowadays. But yeah, episode 1 was very interesting. Cora, any last thoughts?
Really busy show, but it has a really compelling hook so far. Really like it. The characters are interesting. I like Lynette and I like Susan because I can identify with their struggles. But yeah,
I definitely want to see more from Lynette, because I definitely know she can come out of this a better woman. And I would say Brie Vanderkamp is also a secret one. Even though she is a Republican, like I said, I will fundamentally disagree on everything with her. She has a lot more going on, and I can relate to her, because it's not easy sharing your feelings, but you need to share your feelings with someone like your husband, especially after so many years. If you can't share your feelings with your husband, then you definitely don't need to be married. But yeah, that was a great episode, and we'll see you guys next week.